Hey, what's up? Now, earlier I saw a live that said something that I agreed with, but then the problem is like the way that the live was being discussed, it kind of irked me. And it didn't irk me in like some really stupid, vexating way where it's like, it's a small detail I really couldn't care. No, it's one of these things where instead of simply saying yes, the majority of people who accuse like a man of doing these crimes are telling the truth. And it's because of that that the people that are not being truthful should be held to the fire when their accusations are proven to be false. Keyword I say proven. We have to be able to prove 100% beyond the shadow of a doubt innocence. If it's murky, then there's no point in saying yay or nay because there's no way to 100% validate it. You have to be able to confirm guilt or innocence 100% before you are able to determine whether or not someone is guilty or innocent of what they are accused. Reasonable doubt is one of the biggest and most important safeguards our legal system has established so that people can't just be like lynched or jailed based on public opinion. Now, do people sometimes get away with things that they are obviously guilty of? Most certainly. Although usually it has to do with them possessing a lot of money and a lot of power and a lot of people nearby that can help get them out of trouble by paying the right people off with the right amount of dollar bills. I despise that. I find that despicable, and honestly, I'm hope among hope that we somehow find a way to finally do away with that whole fucking process of being able just to buy yourself out of trouble whenever you have enough money lying around. But to get back on point, one of the things the people hosting had said disgusted me. Well, actually, a couple things that were said disgusted me, but this one particularly disgusted me. Because it was basically just targeting people in the chat and saying those that were concerned about the liars or the bad actors were most likely either guilty of committing these assaults themselves or had been accused either falsely or unfalsely. And I find that to be disgusting. I find that to be a disgusting way to try to get someone emotionally charged so they'll respond. You do not call someone that. Ever. Unless you have dollars to donuts proof that they did something like that at all. You just do not accuse someone of something like that. I don't care if you're being flippant. There are a lot of people who I've been very angry with myself. A lot of people who are genuine degenerates who I have been very clear about my disdain for on other platforms because I am well aware of their screwed up behavior that they openly document using their own written works as a way to trumpet their idiotic beliefs. But even then, as angry and disgusted as I was with what they were saying, I didn't flippantly accuse them of things in the hopes of getting an emotionally charged response, just to then say that I was right because someone responded. Of course, people are going to respond to something like that because that's a very serious accusation to make. On no basis at all, other than the fact that they were just there and they think that those who lie about something so severe that it destroys another person's life completely should be held accountable when they lie about another person and basically destroy that person's entire life. I mean, we saw what happened with Inquisitor. Inquisitor literally ended his own existence because of the fact that he was accused of something falsely, and no one was willing to believe him because the people who created the narrative around him at that point had found a way to essentially smother his voice. It wasn't until the people responsible more or less admitted that they were lying by omission after his death that more or less, well, congratulations, you're cleared, but he's dead. Great. Great, we cleared a dead guy. What's that mean? I'm sure his family's going to be good. It's like, well, your son's dead, but at least he's not a perv. Yeah, because I'm sure that was a great consolation to losing a member of their family. That was a great consolation to knowing a member of your family is never going to see the sun rise again. What a fantastic world we live in. This is disgusting. And it got even worse because one of the women there looks to be about middle aged, and like she's married, so I assume she's been married to her husband for a little while, probably at least a decade or so, and she openly admits that she believes that her own husband is capable of sexually assaulting people. Yet you married the man. You stay in a relationship with someone who you openly belittle and demean as someone that you feel is capable of sexual assault. What? So you stay with someone who you admit to thinking is dangerous in that way. Why? Like, this is how you know you don't really love him, you don't really trust him, when you automatically assume he is capable of the worst things that human beings can do to each other. And you're married to this person. How can you marry someone who you see the worst aspects of the opposite sex in, and you believe those things about this person wholeheartedly? You literally said that with your whole chest. Like, you said that as though you were almost proud to accuse your husband of being the kind of person capable of sexual abuse. What is wrong with you? Like, do you not realize how screwed up that would be? To hear that about yourself from someone that you love, that you've spent years of your life with, that they actually think you're the kind of person that's literally that level of a monster on the inside? I mean, if I heard that from the missus, I wouldn't be able to fucking look at her. Like, I wouldn't even be able to be in the same room as her if I heard something like that about me from her in front of strangers. Especially if I knew I was not that kind of person. Like, that would fucking destroy me emotionally to hear that about myself from someone that I love dearly. Because it means they think so little of me, they would accuse me and believe me capable of something so fucking horrific. How are you two still married? Like, does he accuse you of drowning puppies? Well, my wife, she drowns puppies. Like, I've never seen her do it, and I don't think that she would demonstrate the capacity to do it, but due to the fact that some people do it who are also the same sex as her, it means that she's also able to drown puppies and probably has. Like, that's the line of reasoning you're exhibiting, is that we're going by guilt by association, but guilt by association is only being exhibited because they share the same gender trait. And for some reason, people are trying to act like this is a level-headed and rational way to behave. This is not aiding in discourse. This is not trying to aid in the resolution or the attempt at devising a solution to the problem. Instead, it's basically saying, ignore all the people whose lives are destroyed by false accusations because it's more important to believe someone who is a liar at face value and possibly contribute to the unaliving of a man who may be completely innocent, because it's easier to do that than it is to ask questions to try to make sure we're getting the right person. I mean, this reminds me of what happened before we had DNA technology. There were literally people being accused of this stuff all the time because of their race, because of their social status, because of where they stood in terms of the overall caste system we kind of have, like, loosely developed in the country. This is not okay. It just isn't. When you justify people attacking someone because of their gender and not because of their character, you are basically saying that character is irrelevant because gender is all that matters. And the problem is, when you do that, you're contributing to more harm, which will make it harder for people to coexist and solve the problem, because it's easier to blame people than actually resolve it by actually reaching some sort of peaceable solution or working together to solve the issue. Think about that.